Hello everyone, welcome back. We're gonna do a little show and tell today. I got some new toys in. I got myself some body armor. Now, I have used body armor before, but I usually I train with some friends. They've got armor. I try it on, so I have used it, but I've never owned it. I is every time I considered uh, buying it, I'm like, yeah, I could buy it, but you know what? I really would rather buy this, that, or the other thing. Basically, I would rather buy some other gun or some ammunition or some scope. So it always came down to I'd rather get something else at that particular moment. However, I think about 2 weeks they started pushing to ban body armor in New York State. Okay, and I'm originally from New York. That's where I grew up. And as soon as I heard that, I mean, that was all the motivation I needed to order body armor. Okay, so basically, as an as a New York escapee, okay, anytime they talk about banning something over there, that's the thing I go and I buy. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I got this from Botox, and it's got level 3 plus plates, which are rated to stop ARs, AK-47s. People have, I believe, tested it up all the way to 308s. I don't think it's guaranteed for that, but most people say that it will stop 308s. Okay, so the way this goes on. Now there is this little buckle here. Now this buckle doesn't need to be here. I believe the idea with this buckle is if you decide, let's get you on here. If you decide that you don't want to use this side panel, basically you can just put the buckles on. Okay, so that's the idea with the buckles. I just haven't gone around taking them off. When I first tried it on today, I took off the side panels. I took off these side panels over here, and I had it just like this, front and back. And then I decided, hey, you know what? The side panels would be great to have for mainly for hanging stuff on there. Okay, so I said, okay, so what I did is I put the side panels back on, and I said, okay, at some later point or something, I'll go back and I'll take off these. I'll take off these buckles, okay, but they don't need to be there if you're using these side panels. So, um, I don't love the way these things generally go on. You gotta pull up this flap, and basically this is a Velcro piece. Velcro goes there. This Velcro piece. Where are you? This Velcro piece goes there. So this whole thing basically Velcros on. That goes on, and then this tucks underneath. And there it is, okay? And I'm intentionally wearing a yellow shirt so you guys can see where it is. I actually had a shirt that matched this color, but I said, you know, if I put that on, it won't be so distinctive. So I put a different colored shirt on so you guys can kind of see it better. Now I have ordered what they call a back panel, which is basically a backpack that will molly into, that basically attaches to the back of this, and you've got a backpack. Okay, so these these magazine carriers here, they have what they call a molly system where it kind of weaves in. Here's another one here. So basically so the way you see these horizontal straps over here. Well, there's horizontal straps on the carrier, horizontal straps on this, and this basically just weaves in and out, and that's how these things attach onto here. Okay, and it's very flexible like that. So here's the thing: when I look at a plate carrier, or this rig that you see here, I don't necessarily look at this as body armor. Okay? I see this as a carrier, and you can decide what you want to carry on it, and it's very flexible. Like every time you go to have a training session, you can decide what things you want to put on here. Okay, so so basically, I do a lot of 9mm shooting. I shoot a lot of these 9mm ARs because I can shoot the steel fairly close. Okay, so when I set this up, I wanted to have lots of 9mm magazines so I can do lots of shooting. Okay, but of course that's not the most practical thing in the world. Okay, having lots of 9mm mags on this thing. But for what I'm doing today, I mean that's what I wanted. So I just attached a lot of 9mm magazine holders. Think of it, I mean, with this Molly system, it's like a step above Velcro. So imagine you could basically Velcro this wherever you needed it. Of course, with the Velcro, it doesn't, it's not, it doesn't stay on as well. So the Molly system is just a step up from Velcro, but it has that same flexibility where if you want this here, you can put it here. If you want it here, you can put it there. You want it here, you can put it there, and you can do that continuously. So this I weighed this on a scale with the plates. It came in at about 14 pounds. So with loaded magazines, and not all the loaded magazines. And first of all, most of these magazines are not loaded right now. I just basically testing this out for fit. So with the normal amount of magazines that you would normally carry, which is probably, let's say, 4 to 6 AR magazines and maybe 2 pistol magazines, you're gonna come in at about 20 pounds, which is, a good deal of weight. I mean, if you're gonna be standing in this all day, 20 pounds, you start to feel it after a while, okay? But you definitely don't want to go heavier than 20 pounds. 20 pounds is probably as heavy as you want to go when you're all set. So this is coming, like I said, around 14 pounds. Now, what I did here, because I got an AR magazine pouch. Now, this one holds just the magazines for the AR. This one I have over here holds the pistol magazines in the front, which sounds like a great idea, except when you go to strap a rifle on yourself, right? Because when you go to strap the rifle on yourself, right, now what's happening is you've got 2 layers of magazines, and this thing really sticks out a lot. Okay, so the nice thing about this system is that these are soft. All right, so first of all, let me get this out of my way. So basically, you can always get this out of your way. Now, when I get the back panel, that is not going to be as easy. So that's one of the things you got to realize as you put stuff. Like right now, it's really easy to get this rifle out of my way. If I put a back panel over, if I put a backpack to the back side, of this, all of a sudden, that simple maneuver does not become as easy. So the nice thing about this is, since I'm not shooting ARs right now, I can take these guys out, okay? And now this basically just collapses, right? Because this is soft. So because initially I was thinking about taking this entire thing off and maybe just putting this one on, which is, or rather this one here. I was going to move this one to here, right? I was thinking of moving that one to there, but then I said, hey, wait a second, let me just take the magazines out. This is going to collapse. So now when I bring this thing back around, now this sits a lot tighter and closer to my body, okay? So that's one of the things about these collapsible, these magazine holders that are collapsible, because I did get some of these hard ones. These ones are for pistol. Now they were sold out of the rifle ones because I was considering getting rifle ones. I'm glad that they were sold out because I don't like these hard pistol ones because these don't collapse. So when you take the magazine, I mean, I guess it's good if you're doing exercise where you're constantly going in and out, putting magazines in, but that's not the way these are designed to be used. Basically, with this, the magazines go in one direction, right? You bring it out, you put it in the gun. After you're done, it's basically going to go into a drop pouch. So I've got a pouch here. Now this is mainly intended, it was intended to put water there, right? I think that's what that was intended for. However, I'm using it to throw magazines in there. The back panel that I buy, I also got a bladder where you can actually keep water in the backpack, and then with a hose, you can drink water directly from your backpack. Okay, so like I said, there's a very flexible system, and these aren't the back panel. I think was $25. The bladder was I think maybe $20. That holds the water, so pretty cheap stuff. This rig, the 2 plates were like each plate was like $130. I got it from Botox. So the 2 plates together were $130. and then the carrier was $60. So I think all together this stuff came out to I think like $370 with the shipping and taxes and all that. So the two plates with the carrier came out to $370. I didn't get plates on the side over here. I just got front and back, but they also make plates that go on the side. Um, so like I said, that's you know, it's a very flexible system, and I don't look at this necessarily as body armor. I look at this as a carrier, as a way to carry shit, especially if I'm going to be going into the woods to do some shooting. You know, I don't want to carry all the magazines on my belt. There's only so much crap I can carry on my belt. So this is a very convenient way to carry a lot of stuff into the woods and do my training. Okay, I can basically just throw it on this. And like I said, right now I got magazines on this side. Would I want to have the extra magazines here? You know, for training purposes, sure, right? Because I got extra magazines on me. I don't have to come all the way back. For a self-defense type of situation, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't put the magazines here. Maybe I would put a knife over here or something like that. All right, so, but, you know, easy on, easy off. You know, this is, like I said, it's just a step above Velcroing stuff onto this, right? So with the modular system, it's just, you know, it's a little bit more durable. These things, you know, they don't quite rip off as if though they were just Velcroed on it, but that's the level of flexibility that we're talking about here. So what do I have here? Like I said, I got the magazines, 3 in the front. These over here are practical because from here I can basically reload my pistol. Okay. These over here are not practical on this side. That's purely for training purposes. What I would do is I would basically just, you know, as I use these up and these end up in this pouch over here, I would basically slowly transition these over to this side so I can use them. Okay, so this is, you know, this is just a matter of you know, this is there for my training convenience to make my training easier. That's why this is here. You know, a knife would probably be a better thing to have over here. There's a little pouch over here again, a pocket. You can put stuff in there. So you got a pocket there, and then on top of this, there's another pocket back here. This one's a little deeper, and the way this works is these systems. This is mollied on top of that because these things like have a lot of these things have like molly in the front, molly in the back. So this pouch attached onto the rig, and then this other one attached on top of that. And this is really not that easy to get to, this pouch, but this is. So this is a great place to just drop my magazines, you know, or if I drop them at a gun, you know, pick them up off the ground, throw them in there, okay? This is really intended to carry a water bottle, okay? But, hey, I mean, you use it however you need to use it, you know? Let's get you back over here. So let's talk about the body armor for a second. Now we'll take it out to show it to you guys. So the body armor basically just covers heart and chest, right? That's under here. And the idea with this is you're using the body armor in conjunction with the availability to get to a hospital really quickly, or to be airlifted to a hospital. Because reality is, if you do get shot here, right, and the armor does the job of saving its life, in reality, shit's gotten really bad if you got shot here and you've been ambushed, right? So things did not go according to plan. So not only have you gotten shot here, but you've probably been shot in a lot of other places, okay? So all those other places are not immediately lethal, right? You're not going to die immediately, but you got to get to a hospital, right? But if you were to get shot in the heart and lungs, you pretty much, you're going to be dead within a few minutes, right? So that's the idea of this. This is to, this is not to turn you into the Terminator, right? Where you can just, just walk out and take hits. Okay, if you get hit here on the plates, right, chances are you've been hit in a lot of other places, and if you don't get emergency treatment, you're gonna die. Okay, in a shit hit the fan type of situation, I don't even know if I would put the plates on here, because that's going to slow me down. And the fact is that if I get hit in the shoulder or in the legs and I'm out in the woods someplace, right, and I, in a situation where I'm on my own and them not getting immediate medical treatment, or it's just not possible, it's not likely. Um, Getting shot in the gut or in the hip is you know, is in the long run is just going to be as lethal. Okay, if I don't bleed out, I'm going to die from the infection. So then the question becomes, is it worth having the extra weight of the plates on your front and back, right? Because the plates by themselves weigh like 4.5 pounds each. So 4.5 in the front, 4.5 in the back. And basically you're up to like almost 10 pounds in plates. So is that extra 10 pounds worth being a little bit slower, getting tired faster? In a shit hit the fan type of situation, I would probably pull the plates out and keep the carrier, which has the magazines, right? So I would use this carrier as a magazine carrier rather than as a plate carrier. Okay, so just a different idea there. Now, another way to think of this is in a situation where you're under attack, and like I said, if you get hit on the plate, right, chances are you've been hit in lots of other places, and you're gonna die if you don't get immediate treatment. But it's a way for you to stay in the fight just a little bit longer, so your friends, family, or teammates can do their job or get away or whatever. So that's another way to think of it. It's not that it may not save your life, because if you get hit here, you've been hit in other places, but it might allow you to keep fighting a little bit longer, so that the other people that you're with might be able to be more effective. Because as long as you keep breathing and you keep pulling that trigger, you may not be able to walk, but if you can keep pulling that trigger, you know, you're one extra gun that's shooting, and everybody else can do their job, or they can get away. So that's another way to think of the plate carrier. It may not save your life, but it may save other people's lives that you care about and that you're trying to protect. Okay? So just again, another way to think of this plate carrier. So like I said, let's pull this back around. Now, one of the things to keep in mind with the plate carrier is it does change a little bit with, first of all, how the gun sits on your chest, and also how it sits on your body. Now, a lot of people will shorten this up and put this on the plate like this, right? It is going to change how that sits. I'm finding that I'm a little bit more comfortable making it a little bit longer and getting the toe basically right there under that spot. Okay, but it's definitely not as comfortable to shoot as if though you didn't have this. Okay, my ears on. So having a fast loop is an absolute necessity, right? You gotta be able to loosen this thing up because you're constricted enough as it is. Okay, so it really helps if you've got that fast loop and you can loosen this up. This fast loop here is from Brash Tactical. This sling has been my main sling that I've been using. It's like $20, works good. It's not too thick. It stays in place. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it from Brash's website. So this sling has been working really good to me. It's kind of been my you know, the sling that I've been using. I've got more expensive slings, but I just keep coming back to this one. All right, let's take a couple of shots. Okay. So, like I said, I love shooting 9mm ARs because I can shoot those targets at whatever this is. It's about 45 feet that I'm at. I can't shoot that those steel plates with 223 or 556 because I'm gonna get a piece of that metal back in my head. So that's why it's really practical for me to have lots of 9mm magazines on here for training. Let's pull this off for a second. So I don't remember if I mentioned it already, but I got this from Botoc, and it came in, I think, with the 2 plates, which were like 130 each. The carrier was 60. I think it came in around somewhere between 350 and I think it was like 370 shipped. And then I got these 2 things over here for the for the pistol. Initially, it took me a little while to figure out, but you gotta basically just shove it in there, and it stretches a little bit. It's like a rubber band here. I do not like these so much because they're not collapsible. So when this is empty, it just sticks out. Whereas when these guys are empty, they can just flatten out, right? So if I decide that I want to be flat, right, I can just pull these out. Now this completely collapses. So that's a major advantage, I think, being able to have that collapsibility. So again, this is not something that somebody, and I have trained with guys that have used this. Nobody just mentioned it to me before. Whatever equipment they had, that's what I used. So now that I've got this, I'm trying out different things. I'm kind of seeing what I like and what's working good for me for my type of training, and basically passing it on to you. Let me take this off. So, and this is the part that is, you got to open it up from here, pull these guys out. Right now, this is going to come out. This and this does not need to be there. That's not doing anything. Initially, I was thinking that maybe this is good in case like you need to be dragged, right? So let's say you're injured or something. There's a little handle there where you can be kind of dragged, right? And maybe I was thinking this would, but I talked to a friend of mine that has one of these where he thought, and he said, nah, just if you're gonna be running this thing, just get rid of these. They don't need to be there. So these just Velcro in, so they come out pretty easy. Let me get this off. So let's do this now. Actually, part of the reason why the price came out to $370, right? Because that math wasn't quite adding up. Is I also got this. This was only $20. Okay, and I'm like, okay, $20, I'll take it. You know. And basically, this is a plate carrier without all that MOLLE and stuff like that. So the purpose of this is where you can put the plates in this, and you can kind of go concealed with this. You can wear this under a jacket. So with this, you're only wearing the plates. So this is, this is for $20. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I'll take it. So that goes like that. Basically, the plates would go. The plates drop in over here. And then you pull this around, and this is pretty good. At some point, I may because here's the thing. Let me do this. Let me pull out the plates, and we'll talk about the different types of protection. Okay, so to pull this out, you open this up from the bottom. Then there's this little Velcro strap. Take this out. Okay. So that's the plate. That's one plate. I think the side plates are something like $70. I mean, at some point I'll probably get those too, just for the hell of it. Just try it out and see how it feels. But it's heavy enough, so I don't think I'm gonna like it too much because it's just gonna make it heavier. Okay, so close you up, put these there. So basically 2 identical plates. These are 10 by 12. Okay, so they do come larger. I think the larger ones are like 11 by 14. I'm glad I got the 10 by 12 because when this goes here, you got to be able to bring your hands together like that. And if this is just a little bit bigger, you're not. Because remember, when you're shooting, your hands come together like that, right? So you got to be able to bring your hands together. Now I'm 5'10". I got I'm 40. My chest size is 48 inches, right? I'm 48 inches around, so I'm not a small guy. So the 10 by 12, which is standard, is gonna. And at my size, this shirt is 2X, right? So I wear a 2X shirt to help you visualize it. So unless you're wearing a 3X shirt, the 12 by 10 is probably the right size for you. Okay, if you wear 3X, then yeah, maybe you need to go to like the 11 by 14s. But anybody wearing like a 2X like me, this is going to be the right size. And as you can see, it just covers heart and lungs. Right? It does not cover the belly. It's not supposed to, because you got to be able to, come down here like that, right? And if this comes down, it's gonna hit you. Okay, so this is not. It's going to be uncomfortable because a lot of times people think bigger is better. bigger is not better when it comes to armor. You guys see my fighting videos where I put armor and I fight, it covers as little as possible, right? I just cover the areas that need to be covered when I put on my medieval fighting armor, right? I've posted a lot of videos on that. If you guys search my channel name and medieval combat, you'll see them. So this is protection level 3+, and then it says SRT, valid for 5 years. So they do put an expiration date on this. I'll show you guys behind the camera. All right. So, and here's the thing: these things are, first of all, I think part of the reason why they put an expiration date on this is because as you're sweating into it, this gets wet. Because this is like a composite, you know, type of material. As this gets wet, it might get weakened over time. So from you sweating into it, getting rained on, that kind of stuff, that's why I think they put the expiration date in there. Also, if this is damaged, right, if this is dropped or something like that, this can be very compromised. I've seen people do shooting tests on this. Well, they'll put a couple of shots on it, right? Like it'll stop the first shot, second shot, but then the third shot will get through. So this is really good to only stop one bullet, okay? And like I said, if you get hit over here, you've probably been hit in a lot of other places. So this works together with a fast trip to the emergency room for surgery, okay? If you don't have access to an emergency room, this is probably just extra weight that's going to slow you down and going to get you shot up a lot more. Okay, so you're probably going to be better off, like in a shit hit the fan type of situation where you don't have access to emergency services. You're probably better off being faster than getting this itty little bit of coverage. Okay, so something to keep in mind. And like I said, there could be a benefit to this. Like for example, if you're just trying to stay alive a little bit longer to provide cover for other people to get out or other people to continue fighting, you know, that could be a benefit to this. If you're going to be like, let's say, in a stationary position where you're doing just like defense, this kind of makes sense because you're not running around, you're behind cover, you're behind a barricade. But if you're out there moving around, you really have to consider if this extra weight is worth it, because these each are about 4.5, let's average to 5 pounds. The two of them together is 10 pounds. And you know, so is it worth that extra 10 pounds? Would you be better off with a little extra ammunition, or would you be better off being a little bit faster? Okay, but that aside, okay, even without that, this is an extremely, let's get this back on. Okay, this is extremely useful like this now. Okay, did I even put this on the right way? Where are you? Hold on. Did it get all twisted up? I think my glasses. I think I might have twisted this up. Okay. Yeah, I twisted that up. Okay, so let's get you back on. Okay. So first of all, the next time you guys see me in this, these straps will probably not be there. And like I said, the main purpose of these straps is if you want to remove these things just velcroed in. So these things can just come right out, and you can just run this rig like this, okay? But for me, this is a lot more useful like this. So you gotta pull it up. Okay, so obviously this is now a lot tighter because I don't have that extra plate. Just come around the bottom. And now this is stuff here. So now this is a really comfortable way for me to go out into the woods and do my training, and I can bring a lot of magazines. I got 9mm magazines right over here for the Glock. This again, without the plates, this comes a lot closer to my body. This is a lot more comfortable now, right? I can do my shooting, and this feels more like a normal winter jacket now. My glasses on. Just because I need them to see further away, see them to be able to focus better. So yeah, this feels This feels really good now. You know, this feels like I just got like a winter jacket on. And I've got the benefit of having all these extra magazines, so I can do my training, throw this over my back, get this out of my way. Okay, retrieve it. Okay. All right, and then I got the fast loop here, so if I need to tighten it, if I need to loosen this out. So yeah, I think when, you know, so don't think of this as armor. Think of this as a carrier. Okay, I mean they call it a plate carrier, but the main word there is not plate; it's carrier. Think of it as a tactical vest. You can put stuff on here, whatever stuff that is. You know, whether it be magazines or you know, first aid equipment, or you know, like utilities, you know, with tools, you know, utility tools, or plates. You know, if you decide that you need to put plates in there, or it's to your benefit to put plates, you can put plates in here. Okay, so it's a carrier of all things that might be useful. Take this off. Where are you? Oh, I forgot how it comes off. I pull this off. Pull these guys out. And like I said, I'm getting a backpack that will attach to the back. And again, it doesn't have to live there. It's depending on what I'm doing that day. I can attach it. I can take it off. But one of the things I have learned is don't get the plastic ones. Get the fabric ones, or the canvas ones, because they're collapsible. This doesn't collapse. And actually, I have not even put this on today. Let's get this in here. So, like I said, this thing was like $20 by itself. So I was like, yeah, you know what? For $20, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it, try it out, test it out, see how I like it. You know. So on this one, they drop in from the top. On that one, they go in from the bottom. And that goes like that. All right, so like I said, I got coverage from here to here now. So this is class 3+ protection. It'll take me all the way up to, it'll take me past 223s and AK, you know, AR-15s and AK-47s. It will probably get me up to 308s, even though it's not guaranteed for that. The tests I have seen, you know, look like it will stop it. But you know what? The funny thing is that if you're up against the guy that's shooting 308s, he's probably got a scope. He's probably a really good shot. He's probably going to take that one shot center mass, and maybe he's got to bolt that. You know, he's only taking one shot. So you might survive that. If you know, you might survive the guy with the 308 that's only taking one shot. You're probably not going to survive the guy with the AR-15 that's going to put 10 shots on you, because he's going to go put his down on the chest. You take 10 shots. Maybe one or two is going to land on the plate. The other 8 or 9 is going to land on other places on your body, which are going to do a lot more damage, and probably you know if you can't get immediate treatment, you're gonna die. So the AR-15 with the lighter with the less powerful ammunition is probably more deadly to you, because you're gonna take more bullets, right? Because they got more bullets. They can carry more bullets. The guy with the 308, he's probably being very conservative, so he's taking that one shot right here in the center, and you're probably gonna survive that guy. So you don't have to worry about the guy with the 308. Worry about the guys with the ARs and the AKs. So yeah, so that's what this is. Now this obviously it's a little thinner. I can put this under a jacket. There's no room here for side plates. The other one I could put some side plates, although it's, the main thing with this is you want to present, so when you want to present your chest to the threat, you don't want to be off to the side like this. You want to be presenting to the target, which is pretty much the way we've been training. Even, that's kind of become standardized, where now basically you present your whole your chest to the target. It's just a much better position to be in. It's more stable, as opposed to the past where you used to bring the shoulder back here, the gun would kind of slide off the back, that kind of crap. So that much hasn't changed. Real quick before I go, different types of body armor. I classify it into armor that's just going to stop pistol rounds. They refer to that as soft body armor. your twos, your your I think the single threes, but I can't remember all the different classifications. So I classify into armor that's just going to stop pistol calibers, all right, and that's going to cover more because it's softer. You can afford to have and it's lighter. You can cover the sides. You can have it go out a little bit further over here because it's softer. You can bring your arms together. So the pistol armor will give you more coverage. Okay. However, if you run up against any rifle, an AR, even a puny little AR, right? You might as well be just wearing a T-shirt. Okay, it's not going to stop rifle rounds. Now, if you got a rifle like this that's designed to stop rifle rounds, all right, you're only covering a small area. Okay, so if you get hit in other places, you're going to take damage. If you can't get to a hospital, get medical treatment, you're going to die, right? Either from bleeding out or from the infection. Now, they also have hybrid armor, which is a combination of soft armor and plate. So basically, it's soft armor, it's soft armor, and then you're able to drop a plate inside of that. So it's basically it's like two pieces of armor. It's soft armor with a plate on top of it, right? Or and the thing with that is now you've got the protection in the in your heart and lungs against rifle rounds. But if you run into pistol rounds, you get a little bit more protection. The problem with that, it gets a lot heavier. So that only makes sense really for like a SWAT team or the the guys that are doing like the room entries, where they're basically driving up in the truck or getting out of a tank or something, right? And they're going up a flight of stairs, they're going in, boom, 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 and and their job is going to be done relatively quickly. Okay, so because they're fighting for such a short period of time, it makes sense to have the heavier armor. Okay, for let's say like somebody that's doing police work, right, where they really don't expect to be fighting, they don't expect to be running into people with rifles. They're more likely to run into gangsters with pistols because they're able to hide it, right? So they're more like that's why most of these gangsters in Chicago and New York and wherever Los Angeles, wherever Democrats are, they're usually carrying pistols because they're concealable. So most police just use soft body armor for the sole purpose of protecting them against pistol calibers. Okay, so they don't expect to run into rifles. Okay, but if they run into rifles, it's like they got nothing. Okay, they got no protection. Military guys, they expect to only run into rifle rounds. So for them, it doesn't make sense to have soft body armor because that does nothing, and it doesn't even make sense for them to have a hybrid because it's just extra weight. Okay, the only part that's going to protect that's going to protect you in a combat situation where you're mainly seeing rifles is the part that's the composite material here. So any soft body armor is just extra weight. Okay, so that's why military guys just wear this. Okay, now the guys that do like SWAT, that do that do the breaching, that mostly in a civilian type of environment, those are the guys that wear the composite because they're working basically for such a short period of time. They're driving up to the scene, or if they're trying to execute a warrant or something, they know exactly where they're going to be, when they're going to be. If there's a problem, they know for what period of time that it's likely to happen. They're not going to be standing in heavy armor for hours and stuff. So those guys, they wear the hybrids, right, which is soft armor plus the composite plus these plates. Okay, so those are your three types of body armor. They have lots of different numbers and classifications, but I mean, when people talk to me about armor, I ask, is it for pistols, is it for stopping rifles, or is it a hybrid of the two? Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Probably going to be doing more videos with this stuff now that I have it here at this location. I like doing videos here because it's just very comfortable for me. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on my uncensored platforms on Odyssey, on HugeTube, and on GunStreamer. I am Pocono Tactical. On Rumble, I'm Pocono Guns. And on YouTube, I've also, my 3 channels there are Absolute Guns, Pocono Shooting, and the Safa channel, which is my original channel. It goes all the way back to 2006. I think that was like either the first year or the second year that YouTube started doing their thing. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon.